Barak Dayawa, Barak Dayawashai, Barak Dayawa, Barak Dayawashai, Barak Dayawa, Barak Dayawashai. Call on La Adonai Yahweh, Bashem Shamalak Yavashai, Bashem Kakadash. So the honors of the apostle and Elder Green Millstone, peace, citation, hope full light. Shalom. And the title of this video is going to be Elephant Kills 70-year-old Woman and Tramples Her Corpse at Funeral in India. And it says wild elephants lifts woman's corpse from funeral pyre and tramples it after killing her. And it said an elephant in eastern India killed a 70-year-old woman and then returned to her funeral to trample her corpse. The incident occurred in Odisha state on Thursday, police said. Maya Murmu was at a tube well drawing water in Mayurbanj district's Raipal village when the elephant appeared out of nowhere. Authorities said it had strayed from Dalma Wildlife Sanctuary nearly 200 kilometers from Mayurbanj. After being trampled, Miss Murmu was taken to hospital where she died from her injuries. Police officer Lopamudra Nayak was quoted as saying to the press trust of India's news agency. Reports said when family members gathered for the funeral and were in the middle of performing last rites, the same elephant appeared, lifted Miss Murmu's body from the funeral pyre, and trampled it again as shocked mourners looked on. Family were only able to go ahead with the ceremony after the elephant left. It remains unclear if the animal harmed anyone else present. Conflicts between elephants and humans are a common occurrence in Odisha. Intensive industrial activity in the mineral-rich state has increased human encroachment in animal habitats, increasing chances of encounters between villagers and elephants. A worrying trend in the state has also been a spike in the number of unnatural deaths of elephants. At least 1356 elephants have died in Odisha since 2000 to 2001, according to the data provided by the state chief wildlife warden, reported the IANS news agency. At least 42 elephants deaths were recorded in the state in just 7 months from April to October last year. Many other incidents of human-elephant conflict have been reported from other parts of the country. In March this year, a woman was killed and attacked by an elephant at a forest in central Chhattisgarh state's Bilaspur district. Her 8-year-old grandson was injured while trying to run away, police said. In May, a 40-year-old woman was trampled to death by an elephant outside her house near Guldalur in southern Tamil Nadu state's Nilgiris district. Okay, that seems like that's it on it. Now I'm going to bring up some scriptures to pretty much to pretty much explain why these things happen. Ecclesiastes chapter 39 verse 27. All these things are for the good to godly, so to the sinners they are turned into evil. There be spirits that are created for vengeance, which in their fury lay on sore strokes. In the time of destruction they pour out their force and appease the wrath of him that made them. Fire and hail and famine and death, all these were created for vengeance. Teeth for wild beasts and scorpions, serpents, and the sword punishing the wicked to destruction. And that's one of the swords of the Heavenly Father, which is the teeth of wild beasts, It also tells you that in the book of Jeremiah that eventually these animals are going to start bringing judgment upon these people. And, things been happening like that, decades ago, but it's just that it's just intensifying even more and more. So, that's the thing. When the Most High sets his swords upon this, upon the world, and when he sets miseries and afflictions, any calamities that he set upon the world, he does it gradually, And seeing that, I thought it was just only one report in the article, but it seemed like it was multiple reports, because I saw it on social media and I saw somebody shared something like that, and I was like, oh wow, you know. And seeing that you got animals that are pretty much coming out and just giving judgment to these people. And sometimes one thing about some of these people too in India, you know, I know they have it to where they worship the cow and stuff, and they I know the elephant has to be symbolic to something in, you know, Asian culture as well. Like, and these people, you know, they have idols of these animals, you know, these stupid heathens. And I know, like, the elephant will pretty much be used for you know, their tusk is used for like some sort of like, I think it's called ivory. They use this for, it's like jewelry and stuff. They try to remove their tusk, and they abuse these animals, so eventually they receive a judgment for that. And this was a 70-year-old woman. You could already tell at that state she probably couldn't even run away from her judgment, you know, like from an animal like that, you know. And the elephant weighs like, I think like about 2 tons. For that elephant to trample her to death, that's, oh, you gotta feel your bones crushing. And you're old as it already is, which is even worse. So you're more susceptible to feeling pain. So I know for a fact old people usually have a lower pain tolerance, and, which is like hell for them. So, boy, imagine feeling 2 tons, like pretty much squishing you to death, like trampling you to death. And then the elephant came around during the funeral and just trampled her again while she was dead. That elephant was gangster for that. That was insane. So you know that was a spirit created for vengeance. How the elephant was lurking pretty much just to come around again, just to say fuck that dead body. I was I was like, wow, when I saw that, when I read that article. And show you that the Most High ain't playing. You know, he's really out there sending judgment, you know, through many forms, even through animals too. These animals, they be in the zoos, they be in captivity, you know, and they sick of it. They tired of it, you know, because not only the so-called white man, which is like, you know, the worst of the heathen, of all heathen nations, that's out there pretty much like doing these fucked up things to these animals, and, you know, doing other wicked shit too. These heathens are pretty much doing the same thing as well. They're following after the footsteps of Esau, you know, doing their wickedness. But we all know Esau the devil, so of course he gonna do worse than what the heathens do. But, you know, yeah. And let me just bring out some other scriptures that go along with this. Jeremiah 15 verse 3, and I will point over them 4 kinds, saith the Lord: the sword to slay, and the dogs to tear, and the fowls of heaven, and the beasts of the earth to devour and destroy. And this is one of the you know, judgments the Lord promised that he was going to bring, you know. So seeing that an animal is willing to go out there and kill, you know, certain amount of people, you know, that's their judgment right there that the Lord has set up for them. But that's pretty much what I wanted to bring out. Didn't want to make the lesson too long, so I'd like to give all glory, praise, honor to Adonai, Yahweh, Bashem, Shamalaki, Ashab, Bashem, Kakatash, double honor to Apostle, Elsbeth, Millstone, Peace, Citation, Hope, Fuller, Yahweh, Bashem, Shabbat, Bakashash, Shalak, Riyam, Adawayim, Wakawayim, Wa, Ababa, Shalom.